Say anything to anybody?
Hello.
Hello. All right.
Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions. The five elements water, fire, wood, metal, earth are not always equally predominant. The four seasons make way for each other in turn. There are short days and long. The moon has its periods of waning and waxing. He who can modify his tactics in relation to his opponent and thereby succeed in winning may be called a heaven-born captain. That is the end of chapter 6 of The Art of War. You know, this chapter we just read, this is a very high-level chapter, right? This would be like the general's level chapter.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because Sun Tzu, he talks about, the role of leaders, the guys who are running the countries and the military, and then generals who are running the military and troops. And the whole point, like you started off by saying, if a nation is going to decide to deploy its troops, number one, if you're going into a military conflict, they're not police officers. They're not going in there
Right.
to do traffic and to be a
Right.
peacekeeping force. They're there to kill people and
Right.
to take territory or whatever.
There has to be yeah.
Right? So you
Yeah.
have to use the correct tool. You don't want to use a hammer, right? On every job. Maybe you need a screwdriver or a wrench.
You're 100% right. I think that's been the issue with the US for decades, since World War II, basically, is they've tried to put a hole in a square peg, or whatever the saying is, with what they're doing.
Well, at $2 million a cruise missile, Raytheon makes a lot of money. Oops, firing them like popcorn. Well, we need another 100 cruise missiles.
But yeah, I mean, I agree.
Look at how much money Moderna and Pfizer are making on these jabs.
I know it's the same story, man.
That doesn't make people question what the real motive is here when you see this much money. Moderna, the stock, went from $15 2 years ago up to $600, if I remember correctly.
Sheesh.
In a year.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
Yep. 9/11. A lot of people think the real reason for 9/11, besides there's a lot of reasons, but in the end, it was also a financial transaction of some type, right? There were people trading, shorting certain stocks. So people knew in advance. So if people know, see, that's the thing. If people know in advance that an attack is coming,
right,
then
you can make money.
It's not random, right? It wasn't something that was accidental. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know the details, but I know that.
No, but that statement I just made, does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? If somebody's making money from it in an advanced trade or if they've pre-positioned themselves to make money financially from some disaster, then it's not accidental. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a paper trail and there's even when there is an element, I believe, of chaos, like let's say with COVID. Let's just assume that COVID, was real, and which I believe, it's a virus or whatever. There are people who have advanced knowledge, like the couple of senators who sold off all their holdings right before it hit the US. They obviously had some information, maybe a briefing or something, where they were told, hey, look, this is going to hit the US. This is not going to just stay in China. Which was not the public narrative at the time. Trump was in office. I remember him downplaying it. Obviously, everybody remembers that. And these people made their decisions before anybody else knew what was going to happen. So even if there are natural happenings, there's definitely like a difference in information between people who are in power and the lay people, obviously. So it's no good.
Live long and prosper.